Good morning, everyone. It's time for Dear Pearl, and today our letter comes from a married woman, and she wants some advice about her situation she has with one of her children not being her husband's child after an affair. So I'm going to go ahead and read the letter. Make sure you feel free to comment, leave all advice in the comment section, and always make sure you share this video as well. So the letter says, Dear Pearl, I've been holding on to a secret that is eating away at me. My husband and I had a point in our marriage where we both cheated and we got back together. However, I became pregnant. I know from the dates that the baby is not his, and the biological father of my child has been threatening to tell my husband if I go on any longer with the lie. He's saying it's unfair because he's missing out on his child's life. I want to tell my husband, but I'm afraid that this will devastate him. What should I do? Well, first of all, the first thing I will say is that you said that when y'all had an affair, y'all both cheated. So when y'all got back together, that was the time that you should have told him that the child that you were pregnant with was not his, because you said that both of y'all cheated. So I want to say that he would have been more understanding then, because you both admitted that you cheated. There was infidelity in the marriage, and those are the things that can happen when you cheat. You may become with a child. He may impregnate a woman. So I think that was step one. When the infidelity was addressed and y'all moved past it, that would have been the time to tell him that the baby was not his. And that would have given, I know it would have given a different outlook on the situation, but that would have been the time to definitely tell him. Because lying to him and telling him that, making him think the child is his, that's going to put a whole nother damper on the situation. You were mentioning that the biological father of the child is threatening to tell your husband if you don't. You definitely want to go ahead and tell your husband, because you want him to hear it from you and not anyone else, because that's going to be hurtful to hear it from someone else. So you need to sit down with him, and you need to tell him he needs to hear it from your mouth before he hears it from anyone else. You mentioned that the biological father is saying that it's unfair to him because he's missing out on his child's life. He's definitely right. It is unfair because, children need their fathers, and if he's willing and he wants to be in his child's life, he should definitely have that opportunity, and he should definitely be given that choice because he wants to do the right thing. I know sometimes as women, we have this idea of a perfect family and what we want, but sometimes that doesn't match our reality. Your reality is you and your husband had an affair. You both cheated. Your infidelity resulted in a child that is not his, and the biological father is right. He does have a right to be in his child's life. So I think that is something that you maybe want to consider, because you don't want your child to grow up thinking that your husband is their father, when in actuality that's not. They have a father that wants to be there, that wants to do. That would be your husband if y'all choose to stay together after he finds this out. But it is not fair for you to deprive him of his rights to be a father when he wants to be there, because we have so many women who long for relationships between their children and their father. So you definitely want to give him that chance. And I know the way things happen, it wasn't an ideal situation for you. It wasn't your reality, but that's what you're faced with now. So that's what you have to go and take the steps to make better. I don't know if I can say your husband will leave you or not, because both of y'all had an affair. So I think the part that's going to bother him is the fact that you lied. And I don't know if that was discussed. I don't know if he asked you that when you became pregnant. Was the baby his? I don't know the timelines. But the important thing is that you know, and you know that it's eating up your conscience. So that tells me that you're a good person and you really want to do the right thing. So the first thing would be to sit down with your husband and tell him, because he's going to be upset. He's going to be angry. It's going to be a lot of emotions there. But you'd rather him hear it from you than anyone else. Secondly, I don't know how old the child is. I don't know, their age where they're already calling your husband daddy, or I don't know that. But if the child is not of age, you want to go ahead and sit down with the biological father and, sit down with your child, make that introduction so that bond process can definitely start. And, you don't want to have to go through the courts and everything, because if he's saying that his child, and you know that's his child, he can't take you to court. He can't have his child legitimized. He can't gain rights. So you definitely want to do it the right way, just to prevent all the situations, having your child tied up in court, that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure, you're going to go ahead and give him a DNA test, just to make sure everything is everything. But I'm pretty sure from reading the letter that you already know it's his child. And the third thing I want to tell you is just know that we all do things. We all make mistakes. We all can definitely be forgiven. And I do hope you and your husband can work this out. I think that it's going to really put a wedge between y'all, because it's going to be like you held something out from the affair. So that's definitely going to bring another wedge between y'all, but it's nothing that y'all can't work through. And, people have problems in their marriages. People go through things. There's ups and downs, and you just have to choose whether you want to work it out or not, whether it's worth working it out or not. So I hope this advice really helped you. Thank you for writing to the Pearl Show, and have a good day.